For some, it's the final tune-up toward the regular season, while for others, it's one last opportunity to make an impact and to find their way onto an NFL roster. However you spin it, there is plenty on the line tonight in the final preseason game of 2025 from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This is Countdown to Kickoff for the Atlanta Falcons taking on your Dallas Cowboys. Down here on the sideline in Arlington alongside Mickey Spagnola, I'm Kyle Youmans, now joined by head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer. Training camp in the rearview mirror, the final preseason game on the docket. One last opportunity to evaluate. Sum it up for me, Brian. What's the impact of today going to be?
Well, it's big. We talked to the guys today about it, Kyle. Like, literally, it's one of those deals where these guys can be nervous, they can be tight if they want, but that doesn't help them. Go play. I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys that were on the bubble go out and in the third preseason game, or really the fourth preseason game, go out there and literally just make all these game-changing plays and impact plays, and then they solidify a spot on the roster. So what we talked about today was, hey, man, have fun, play free, be confident, and enjoy being with your brothers. But it's going to come down to execution. And if we make enough plays, then we'll find a way to win, and that's the objective.
Well, Coach, it's always been a pleasure getting to catch up with you prior to these games. Looking forward to the regular season. Looking forward to see what you guys have out there tonight as well.
It's going to be fun. Always appreciate you guys, and again, look forward to this.
No doubt about it. Brian Schottenheimer joining us here on Countdown to Kickoff. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jerry Jones here on the sideline at AT&T Stadium. He's got a new documentary out. We'll hear his thoughts when we come back. This segment is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Raise your Dr. Pepper glass to America's team. It's a Pepper thing. AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, the site of preseason game number 3, as we are now joined by the owner, the president, and the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, on the sideline. Mr. Jones, it's always a pleasure, but I feel like we're in the presence of Netflix superstardom after America's team, the Gambler, and his Cowboys debuted this week. What is your thought on the reception of the documentary and some of the hype and praise that has come from it?
Well, number one, we sure appreciate the job that you guys do. We really do. And you put a sense of, dare I say, elevation to it.
Jake Ferguson in some elite company through the first 7 weeks of the season. 4th in the NFL in receptions behind just Jamar Chase with 58. Puka Nacua in the Los Angeles Rams. He has 54. Then you've got a running back up there. How about Christian McCaffrey? He's had a great start to the year for San Francisco. And then our man, Jake Ferguson, 51 receptions, most out of all tight ends in the NFL. And he's done a number of different things to help open up this Cowboys offense led by Dak Prescott. So, gentlemen, let's talk about Jake Ferguson. Barry, his numbers might support it, but has he been the best tight end in the NFL so far?
You know, Kyle, I'm not ready to put him in that category just yet. You know, I feel like there's some more dynamic tight ends out there in the National Football League, but you can't deny what Jake Ferguson has done so far. I mean, he's been a red zone nightmare and a mismatch nightmare, so he's on his way, just not in that category for me yet.
Yes, he's the number 1 tight end in the league because he's one of the number 1 blocking tight ends in the league. He's ranked 2nd in the league with 6 TDs. He's 39 with 334 yards. The average is not worth talking about per catch, but he is the number 1 guy in my book.
So the numbers tell one story.
Yes.
What does the film say? That's the next part of this segment, and that's where we bring Isaiah Stanback out. He's got the clicker on the hip pocket, ready to roll. Take us through the film. What makes Jake Ferguson special as a blocker, as a pass catcher, and as an overall teammate?
Well, here's the full package when you talk about tight end.
Year number 1 of the Brian Schottenheimer era with the Dallas Cowboys is in the books, and it was filled with some big-time moments. Some memorable, some that the Cowboys would like to forget as they finish at 7-9-1. And we're going to review all of it, plus take a look forward to 2026 here on the 2025 Dallas Cowboys Year-End Special. Welcome in to the Globe Life Studios, everybody, with Barry Church, Nate Newton, and Isaiah Stanback, 3 former Cowboys. I'm Kyle Youmans, leading you through what happened in 2025 and what is to happen in the Cowboys offseason going in to 2026. It started in a big way on Thursday Night Football against the reigning Super Bowl champions. Some big-time drops left the Cowboys with an opportunity to make a statement on the road. But they return home, and they made a statement in the division with a 40-37 win. We know what they bring on the offensive side. We also know what Detroit brings from a run game element. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sonic and Knuckles, as they like to call them, up there in Detroit. They're tied right now for the most games where they've each scored a touchdown with the greats that Nate used to block for, Darryl Moose Johnston, and, of course, Emmitt Smith. So that's a pretty good company to be in with this duo. How do you defend this duo, Barry, if you're on the opposite side?
This one's a little tough as well because both of these running backs are extremely dynamic in such different ways. But when it comes to Montgomery, I'm using that, well, both of these backs, I'm using that 5 defensive line front that Eberflus has been using these past couple weeks. When it comes to Montgomery, I'm making sure my linebackers, when he has the football, are downhill. All right, you got to meet this guy before he starts going. Once he gets that momentum going, he's hard to bring down. And when it comes to Gibbs out there, I'm making sure that we have the edges set. This is a guy that has speed and is extremely explosive. He's a home run threat that once he puts his foot in the ground and gets on the outside, it's going to be hard to bring him down. So I got to make sure my edges are set on the outside and my linebackers are downhill, but that's the way I would try to contain these 2 running backs.
What I would do is call a wide 9.
You're all the way over there.
I'm going way out the TV. I'm going way out. I ain't letting this boy Jahmyr Gibbs get outside.
No, sir.
It's called a wide 9, baby. And you bring everything inside. You setting the edge because you pass rushing right to the tackles. Yeah, that's how you do it. And the other guy, Montgomery, you just hold your breath, baby, and hope he don't run you over.
So since Nate wants to wide 9 and get outside, let's let Isaiah break this down a little bit here. Let's get a football in here.
We're going to show this thing real quick. All right, in this demonstration right here, I am going to first beat David Montgomery. All right, Kyle is going to be Mr. Jared Goff.
Nice.
Right? And then Big Nate Dogg is going to do what he does up front, be the offensive lineman, okay? Yeah. And I'm going to let Barry Church do what he does and play safety. So, in this scenario, okay, we're lined up back here in the backfield. We're going to go ahead and run a zone play to the left. Boom, the ball is snapped. I am David Montgomery. I'm coming right here. I am pressing it. As soon as I see Barry Church right there, I'm going to put my foot in the ground, and I am coming downhill. He wants to run over whoever is in the hole. He doesn't want to run around people. He wants to run through your face. So, David Montgomery averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Now, there's another gentleman on the other side. His name is Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs is a little bit different. He's going to give you a little two different options, okay? So Montgomery's downhill. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to do something like this. Boom, ball is snapped. He's getting the ball. Boom, 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 boom. You see Big Nate Dogg pressing it out there. If he wants to go outside right there, boom, I'll take it right here, and then whoever is in the hole, they're going to get the McNasty work, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and change it up. I still have the ball. Barry decides that he wants to go ahead and fit up inside. He tries to come right here. Big Nate Dogg seals that edge. He is hitting the outside, and now you got to deal with this joker running outside with speed that you cannot match because he is just that dynamic. He's quick. He's fast, he's shifty, he can run you over, but he really wants to get to the outside and go all gas, no brakes.
And that's exactly what the Cowboys defense has done a good job at the last few weeks of getting back into a fold of stopping the run and doing so against some of the elite or at least running backs in the National Football League. And they've done a good job. Let's see if they can continue that against the best duo they've seen since the trade deadline. All right, let's take a look at some of the inactives of who will not be available for each of these teams, starting with the Dallas Cowboys. A couple of the normal names on the list, but another name like Jalen Tolbert popping up that you don't necessarily like. Also, Jadeveon Clowney, he was a game-time decision.
Club 42.
Not available this time for Club 42 and company.